strangely affordable ranch on the market comes with one big eerie catch. When you're looking for a new home, it can feel like a thrilling adventure, but it's also a lot of work. You need to consider your price range, make sure the home accommodates all of your needs, and of course, location. Yet, there can be all sorts of questions that you may not even consider asking, but you should. For instance, you might not think to ask if anything spooky has ever taken place there, but you certainly would be concerned if there had, right? One home in Buckeye, Arizona is sure to raise interest among potential buyers, but there's a catch. At first glance, the Stardust Ranch in Buckeye, Arizona may look like a fairly average southwestern style home. Depending on your definition of the word, you might even consider it to be pretty ordinary. Well, it's not ordinary, given that it's 3,500 square feet and located in the middle of the desert. Still, certainly nothing about it comes off as strange at first glance. Heck, it's even just a short drive from Phoenix. Better yet, the Stardust Ranch has been put up for sale by West USA Realty, so it can be yours for a cool $5 million. If you're looking for an investment property, this one is truly a gem. Or is it? For your money, you wouldn't solely be moving into a large home on an amazing piece of land. You'd also have access to a swimming pool, stables, RV hookups, and even a gated entryway. This ranch has led a pretty interesting history too. Not too long ago, it was once home to Hopeful Hooves, a horse rescue organization that took in senior horses or horses who were survivors of abuse. Sounds pretty perfect, right? Well, there's just one catch, and depending on your level of skepticism and your feelings about the X-Files, it may either be a selling point or a reason for you to avoid the property at all costs. You see, while the Stardust Ranch might be the official name of this property, it's also known by locals as another name, the Alien Ranch. It turns out there's a pretty good reason for that too. John Edmonds, the current owner, claims that he's frequently seen extraterrestrial activity on the property. He's also been more than open and honest about his experiences while living there. Spotting evidence of alien activity is one thing, but John's stories don't stop at simply witnessing extraterrestrials. Throughout his 20 years living there, John claims to have killed no fewer than 18 aliens, with a samurai sword no less. He calls the creatures grays, as they look like the standard, bald, gray humanoid creatures that you've probably seen on TV. Can you imagine encountering a gray in your own home? Yikes! John hasn't walked away from all these fights unharmed, and he has the injuries to prove it. From bruises to cuts to scratches, whether you believe his stories or not, something is obviously hurting John. Recently, he shared these wounds from recent attack by a malevolent ET on his Facebook page. His friends couldn't believe what they were seeing. Do you think what was happening to John was real? It isn't just John who suffered because of the supposed aliens either. During one memorable incident, John apparently walked into his bedroom to find 3 aliens making his wife levitate above the bed. Naturally, he grabbed his sword as soon as he could and dispatched the intruders. He took photographs of the scene, but for whatever reason, he's routinely failed to produce his evidence. In another supposed incident, John's wife's body floated from the hall to the yard and all the way up to the alien spaceship. John says that he then shot at the ship with an AK-47 and a double banana clip. People often ask John how he can remain so calm in the face of such extreme danger. He says that he gets scared, of course, but then he pushes the fear away in order to deal with the terrifying task at hand. With so much alien killing experience under his belt, John has plenty of tips for would-be buyers. For example, he says that he believes beheading the aliens is key, as he's found that they'll disappear if they're killed in any other way. While John claims to have dealt with many aliens, he remains tight-lipped about what he did with the remains of those creatures. He wants to make sure that other aliens don't find out about the burial site he selected. After selling the ranch, John plans to move to Maine and start a new horse rescue program there. He'd leave his old life of living in the desert and fighting aliens behind him once and for all. Clearly, whoever buys this ranch is going to have a little bit more to deal with than just redoing the kitchen. Here's hoping that a buyer comes along who's ready to face some pretty out-of-this-world stuff. Obviously, there's no way of knowing for sure whether or not John's claims are fact or fiction. You'll just have to visit the alien ranch and find out for yourself. Share this fascinating information with your friends.